everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Episode Rewind, where we talk about the Blacklist. So this is a double-header episode since we missed last week because we were on vacation.
We were not just out of the town, we were out of the country.
Yeah, we went to the Bahamas, but more on that later. If you want to know, you can check out our vlog channel, which is The Movie Couple, and I'll leave the link down in the info box below. So we're going to cover two episodes. We're going to cover episode 11, Mr. Gregory Devry, and then we're going to cover this week's episode, episode 12, The Vehm?
The Vehm.
The Vehm. So basically how this goes, we're going to talk about the positives that we liked, things we liked about the episodes, the negatives, things we didn't like so much, and then our overall thoughts, predictions for next week, and we're going to do that for both episodes. All right, so Dustin, what was your overall impression of episode 11?
I like the fact that Blacklist is starting to get back to the procedural outline that they had in season 1 and then a little bit in season 2, that they have the blacklister of that episode or that specific story, and everything kind of gets rolled up into a nice little ball at the end. Mm-hmm. And then even though they still have the little nuggets, he still kind of laid out who the next big baddie is.
Yeah.
For this next season or the season 4 when it comes up, that it's starting to, you can tell that this is the next phase of the Blacklist, and it gets you really excited. It kind of warms you up,
especially at the end of the episode too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, the shocker at the very end.
I didn't see that coming at all. I'll say this: coming off from the entire exonerate Liz, a few episodes, and I thought that we were just gonna jump back into the procedural, like you said, but I didn't think. I guess just with the Blacklist, never let your guard down, because I seriously thought that one of my favorite characters, Mr. Kaplan, was gonna kick it in this episode. I thought she was a goner for sure, because her associates basically got killed off, and I was like, oh my god, she's gonna die, but she didn't, which is a little scary too, that someone was somehow able to trace her, and she so far has been untraceable. Obviously she was
an untouchable.
Yeah, so obviously she was shaken by that. She rarely makes mistake. Red's not happy, and that's where this whole impersonator comes in.
Yeah.
And it threw me for a loop for a second. For a second, I believed, what if James Spader wasn't the real Reddington, and they were all just playing at it, that would make just this so interesting. But then that would have thrown the whole Liz Reddington being father-daughter or whatever relationship they may have out the window. So that thought was gone pretty much immediately. But they had me for a second.
Yeah, I actually thought, though, that maybe Reddington had a different name and different persona of who he was, but he took this other person's name to kind of blend into the crime element. Mm-hmm. But I loved the little twist at the end and how it was all a setup. And, of course, it was all a part of the plan.
Red's always got a plan.
It played out brilliantly.
It played out so well. And I like that he said at the end to Elizabeth when he explained everything and why Liz was like, but that's your friend. You killed your friend. He was like, I helped him out. He had terminal stomach cancer. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh. And just, one, how good of a friend are you to Reddington to submit yourself to something like that? And two, I just think Red's reaches just so far and so deep within certain people, and they're so useful to him.
What were some of the positives that you liked?
Generally, little things. I mean, I really liked the episode as a whole. Little things here and there, with little flares of Reddington. They were at the Shell, what is it called? The Shell Island.
Oh, yeah.
The dinner party, and they were, it's a bunch of criminals, and first they're exposing Red as the FBI informant, which is a very big deal. And then for a second, everybody forgot what they were arguing about, and they started to is it Dig or Doug?
That was hysterical. How Reddington always has these little diversions to disarm all of the people, and then he gets them. Okay, now what were you saying?
It's just so great, and I love that when he stabbed the guy in the stomach, he pulled him closer, and he was like, "Yeah, buddy, guess what? You were right." You were right, and
tell your friends when you get to hell, yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
That throws me for a loop a little bit, that I think that they might purposely end the series with Reddington sacrificing himself, and that's part of the plan, to maybe get Liz to be able to have a real normal life. The reason why he's not saying that is because Liz, of course, would not approve of the plan. Mm-hmm. Or anyone, for that matter. Especially Dembe. Dembe's not going to be a part of that plan.
I think anybody who is on Reddington's personal team are expendable when he says they are. For his own contingency plan. Yeah, himself included. You know, because I think his end game is to take down whatever he's got to take down and ultimately leaving Liz with the best possible life. But, I mean, obviously, we don't know that yet. And certain things, like, stood out to me that I was like, is this going to be foreshadowing? Like, not foreshadowing, hinting at certain demises for certain characters. For example, Tom. We see Tom again and Liz, and they get it on. Mm-hmm. And he reproposes to her.
I didn't like the way he did it.
I thought it was kind of cute. Because they were already married, and then their marriage fell apart, and then he was just, like, so desperately wanting to have her back in his life that he was like, wait, before we get anywhere, before things are left unsaid, let me do this right now.
I thought he would have had, I mean, if that's something he's been wanting to say, have something besides a washer.
I don't know, I thought it was cute.
But if you, but I guess the only opinion that truly matters in that opinion is this beautiful woman's opinion right here on the proposal.
Maybe Liz didn't like it because she didn't say yes. Maybe she was like, get away with the stupid washer. Give me a ring. I don't know. I'm just joking.
But like maybe even like a candy ring.
It was cute. I thought it was cute. I thought it was appropriate. Let me flow into the negatives. Do you have any negatives?
That's the thing. There wasn't anything that really struck me as annoying or off-putting.
Okay, I have one.
Oh, maybe that will
just one, because I just thought it was a little tiny bit far-fetched, was Wrestler. First of all, when he ran after the moving truck after they kidnapped Janet.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was going to get in his car, and oh my god, we're going to see Demolition Wrestler again. But we didn't. He actually was like hopped on the back of the U-Haul. And he was hanging on, and it looked like the truck was going really fast. So how does a human... he's got to have, like, soup... Yeah, a little bit, because he's one getting shot at...
Didn't he shoot the tires out a couple times?
He tried to. I don't know if he was successful. And then he gets kind of thrown off by the truck and lands on his back, cracks a windshield of the car behind it. And I was like, wait, like, Wrestler's like Super Soldier or something. Like, he's just...
He's not Steve Rogers.
Not even bandaged a little bit. I mean... So that was my only pet peeve of this episode. Beside that, I really, really liked it. I liked that they just jumped right back into things, you know, and they already
got the band back together again.
They got Everyone's the band back together, and they had you on the edge of their seat with the Mr. Kaplan scene, which is great.
And when they pointed the gun at her, I was like, oh my god, they're not really doing this. Because for a few seconds, they had the gun right at her back, and then he took out the other two.
I guess she'll never wear headphones again while she's cleaning up.
Yeah, because if she didn't have her headphones on,
she
probably would have turned around and capped those two guys.
But I don't know if you caught it, but Tom was called in by Red. So Tom went to see Red.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, you know, there's no marriage. And he was like, why? Because I don't have Daddy's approval. And I'm like, oh, is that an answer? Is that an answer?
And then he didn't even deny it.
He didn't. No, he didn't. Red didn't deny it.
He also said, you did that before.
I didn't say it. I didn't
give you my approval before.
The first time. So I'm like, oh, wait. So is Reddington, like, is that confirmation for the viewers that he is her father?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so with that said, usually at this point we go into predictions for next week. But since we already saw the following episode 12, which is the Vehm, we're going to go right into that. So let's once again start with you. Your overall impressions of episode 12.
Creepy. When it first started, super creepy. You're like, what's going on? They're kidnapping random people and torturing them horrifically.
Yeah.
And then you find out, you know, they have this creepiness about them. They seem like psychopaths. But then it reveals the whole, they're on a mission from God, and they're trying to, what is it called? When you've done something bad and you want to atone for it, but then they're all being played. I thought it was...
It just goes to show, like, evil can hide anywhere and in any form. And this episode is one you said it's definitely creepy. It's definitely not. It is one of the episodes that made me uncomfortable watching. One of the few. I think the chemist or something like that episode in like episode 1, that one really grossed me out too, but this one also did. Like, it made me really uncomfortable watching, and that's what I really like about the Blacklist is you can't really predict what you're gonna get and what elements they're gonna bring in. And this one I was like, oh, they're cleansing the pedophiles. Okay, you know, how does this make them blacklisters? And then you go and find out they were sinners once themselves, and they're like self-castrated.
Ooh.
Which oh my god. All right, so
but then how Red played the father, what was his name?
The Cardinal.
The Cardinal. Ugh.
Was that one of your favorite parts, one of the positives for you?
Mm-hmm. I thought it was really just the way, like, just like with the other episode, Red always has a plan.
Yeah.
And it's always fun to see it play out.
Mm-hmm.
And just all I want is the name and a song with the guy in the wood.
Did you like that?
It was a little awkward until Dembe was just like, stop it.
That's enough. I was like, was that Dembe with the one-liners, you guys? That's negative for this episode. Give Dembe some more lines, writers. We want to see more Dembe.
And even in the last episode,
no, he didn't really do anything. But
yeah,
you know,
we want more Dembe.
This one was really hard to say, like, positive and negative. I guess the positives for me, I'll say it's Aram comes through again for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I like that he was the one. It was because of him that Navabi's back.
You just want to give Aram a big hug.
I do. And
every single time.
Give him the girl.
Yeah.
Just let him have the girl. I kind of, you know, I'm not, wrestler's not my favorite. And when I heard that he had given her kind of like the approval to come back, and he was like saying the task force wouldn't really function as well without her and blah, blah, blah. I was thinking that's really unlike him to change his mind that quickly because he's so set in his way. Even with Liz, it took a lot of convincing, and I wonder if he still has doubts, maybe a little bit in the back of his head that she's not 100% innocent or whatever, maybe. So I was like, wow, that's really interesting that he would do that. So to know that it was a rum, it kind of made me feel better because I feel like
that's something.
Wrestler kind of stayed true to what we know, like the Boy Scout.
Yeah, you know? It was out of character for him to have done that, and then to find out he didn't do it. So it's not out of character.
He was so rude about it too.
Yeah,
like you're supposed to be partners on the field. You're supposed to have each other's back, and he's just. I was like, you know, maybe you should just let him get shot.
And nothing personal, but you suck in bed.
Best line ever. Best line ever. And he just kind of had this smirk, like, all right.
And then Aram and Harold at the end, women.
Mm-hmm. And I like that he had some fresh limeade downstairs in the fridge. That was cute. Like he doesn't even drink. I'm trying to think of some of the negatives I had in this episode. The only thing I would say at the end with the mayor, I think that's who it was I didn't understand why they arrested him. That. Yeah,
for smoking in a public location.
So, but it was so quick and.
Yeah.
It didn't have as much impact as I would have liked. Like seeing the Vehm was definitely interesting, but it didn't give me as big of a punch at the end as I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
Like knowing where it was going to go and stuff, but.
Then there's the whole thing about Tom and Elizabeth and a baby. And that speech that Red gave at the end about her mom.
Yeah.
That I just thought was just heart-wrenching.
I thought that maybe that would get Liz to feel a little bit better about having the baby. But
I think it did too. Until
she called up the adoption agency. She's not talking to Tom about it, you know, at all. And he's going to be just furious. But for some reason, I don't think she's going to go through with it. You know, I think somebody's going to talk her out of it or something. But one more negative I have, and it's a small thing, and it's a total girly thing. When they were in the woods getting sung to, the guy in the woods and then the lady with the duct tape over her mouth, right? One, and this isn't a negative, this is just me being quirky. Where did they get the colorful duct tape? Two, why is he wearing Uggs? Did you notice the man wearing Uggs?
No, I didn't.
He's wearing Uggs. I get it's cold, but don't they have like...
Oh, my little fashionista.
I I can't. But it's such a small minor thing, which is good. I guess it means that I couldn't really pick a negative for this episode, which is good. It's really rare that I dislike an episode of The Blacklist so much where I really want to talk negatively about it.
Yeah, which is a sign of a good series. Mm-hmm. But I was kind of with Elizabeth putting the baby up for adoption. Mm-hmm. That one moment, as soon as she found out that even if she wanted to have normal friends, that's why when she went and knocked on the neighbor's door and found, oh, no, I'm sorry, Red moved her away so we can watch you. She's like, okay, you know what? That's just signs that I'll never have a normal life. Not even close to a normal life.
Which is kind of sad because that was on the pro-con list.
Yeah.
That was one of her pros. One of the three was that she said that it's a chance for her to have a normal life. And I guess after that she's like, as long as Reddington is in her life, there is no normal life. Yeah. So until they can figure that out, how it's all going to happen. 11 more episodes to go, I think, or maybe 12. We'll find out. But I feel with Elizabeth King, she's an interesting character because in the beginning, in season 1, I really liked her. Mm-hmm. In season 2, I really did not. Then she became a little bit annoying. And now she's growing on me again. Mm-hmm. Like she's.
Well, that's also the good sign of a sign of a good character. Yeah. That makes you kind of teeter back and forth. Yeah,
and I think her acting is evolving too. Right. Exactly. What are your predictions for next week's episode?
I don't think we can make any predictions for next week's episode.
Not even a little bit?
Because it's going to probably be another
procedural
blacklister of the week. And then they'll give you little nuggets of this is the direction that we're going to be going. Mm-hmm. So there's probably going to be a little bit of her trying to get the baby up for adoption. My guess is that later on she will have what is that called? A miscarriage or something like that, or some kind of injury that causes the baby to.
So they won't even get to the adoption part.
Yeah, but
I can see that,
which would be sad and devastating for Liz's character. Or she carries the baby to term, and she does put it up for adoption, and then there will always be the baby out there.
So hard, my God. I don't know.
A part of me wants to go back to the beginning before she started with the FBI and be like, Liz, become a dancer. Go into arts. Go into something. Food service. Don't go to the FBI.
I think it's interesting, too, that now she's just a consultant and she can't go in the fields anymore. Mm-hmm. And I like that in episode 11, she kept on, they're like, okay, let's roll out. And she's like, turn around. She's like, oh, nope, sorry, habit, instinct. So I like that, those little transitions here and there, and I like that the show didn't miss that.
And then the guy that Reddington killed that beat up Liz when she found out that she was pregnant.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. I thought that he was just gonna give him a stern talking to, maybe a little
maybe blow out his kneecaps.
Not even that. I thought maybe he just beat him up, kind of like what he did to Liz back to him. Yeah. I didn't expect Reddington to go that far, which says to me even more so that he's got to be her dad. He even noticed that she was pregnant before she confessed, before she had the test. Yeah. He was like, your body, your skin, and the look in your eyes, like he knew. And I was like, how closely are you observing her to know all of this? So.
And it also might be a sign that Reddington's going a little bit over the cliff. He might be becoming a little bit more bad than we would like him to be.
Why?
Well, because technically he killed someone that he didn't need to kill, that honestly didn't deserve death.
But don't you feel like that's the father in him?
Oh yeah, it's the father in him.
Right.
But he still killed the guy instead of beating him within an inch of his life, or shooting out his kneecaps, or hurting him giving him a scar that he'll always have. He chose to put 3 in his chest. And that little speech that he gave at the beginning, every time I kill someone, a little part of me dies. And I think a lot of him has died, in a sense.
I feel like like I said, it shocked me, the fact that he killed the guy, but I feel like I can also really justify why he did it. I really feel like this isn't him, being more drawn to the dark side or anything like that. I honestly think it's pissed that somebody messed up his daughter and puts her in the hospital and she could have had a miscarriage. could have killed her. So I think that's why it's like you can't control that, that anger when it comes to protecting your kid. But we'll find out more. I really want to find out more about like Liz's mom. Like I want to see an actual picture of her face. Like they keep showing that picture where the sun's in her face and you can't see her. I want to see more of that in the future episodes. I want to know when the Cabal is going to show their faces again. Like, are we going to see Laurel in the next episode? Like, are we going to see Mr. Solomon again? Really, there's just a lot more to look forward to, but the season is not close to being over yet. So we will be back with more episode rewinds. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button somewhere down there in one of these corners. And of course, you can follow us on social media. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Wendy Lee Zaney.
And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dustin Zaney.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.